Good morning, everyone. Today I will discuss with you chapter number 3, tissues, plants and animal tissues. According to first term syllabus, I will discuss with you each and every topic in detail one by one in this chapter. The topic of this chapter are tissues, types of plants and animal tissue, a brief understanding of the location, the basic structure, function with examples, and a brief understanding of their role in the plant and animal life. Very first, we have to start with tissues, plant tissues. Tissue. This is a group of similar cells performing a specific function. It means when many cells combine together, they constitute tissues. And tissue have relationship with organ system and organism. Many tissue combine together, they constitute an organ. Many organ combine together, they have to form a specific organ system. Many organ system combine together, they form a individual organism. For example, tongue, they have epithelial cell. Epithelial cell combine together, they form a particular organ, tongue. Same way, when we continue this, mouth, tongue, esophagus, stomach, intestine, these are the name of the organ. Organ combine together, they form organ system. This is the digestive system. Digestive system, circulatory system, respiratory system, excretory system, and many more. They together they have to form an individual organism. Here the life starts. Basically, this concept applies in a multicellular organism. Multicellular, those who are made up of many cells. Example, plant. That's why we are talking here about plant tissue. Plant tissue further categorized into two categories: meristematic tissues and permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue are those kind of tissue which keep on dividing throughout the life of plant. They are mainly responsible for growth and development, whereas permanent tissue have lost their ability to divide further. It means to say that once the division occurs, they acquired specific shape and specific function in the life of plant. They are not going to keep on dividing. Mesomeric tissue have to give rise to new cells. They are going to replace the older ones. Older cells replaced by the new cells. Now we have to take mesomeric tissue in detail. Further, mesomeric tissue are divided into two categories: apical mesomeric tissue and lateral mesomeric tissue. Apical mesomeric tissue are found at the growing tip of root as well as growing tip of the shoot. They are mainly responsible to increase the height of the plant. Question is there in the examination: where apical mesomeric tissue located, or what is the main function of apical mesomeric tissue? Lateral mesomeric tissue. It is also known as the cambium. It is present below the bark and main function to increase the diameter of the plant. We can also say that responsible to increase the girth or width of the plant. You see the diagram where mathematic term is mentioned, leaf, axillary bud. It will make more clear to you where mesomeric tissue exactly located. This is the growing tip of the plant. Here apical mesomeric tissue is present, and in the sides here and here lateral mesomeric tissue is present. One more kind of meristematic tissue is there, but it is not mentioned in your book and not in syllabus, but that is additional information for you. That is a intercalary meristematic tissue. As the name suggests, intercalary meristematic tissue. This kind of meristematic tissue found in between the empty spaces present among the cells and responsible to increase the length of each and every cell. Next one, permanent tissue. Permanent tissue, one criteria classified into three categories: protective permanent tissue, supportive permanent tissue, and conducting permanent tissue. Protective tissue are those which are going to protect the plant part, such as epidermis of the leaf. It consists of a waterproof material. Cork cell in the bark, it also consists waterproof material. Supportive tissue. This tissue provides support to the plant. Example, parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. And the last one, conducting, as the name suggests. It helps in conduction of water as well as food and minerals inside the plant body. Another criteria classify the permanent tissue into two categories. One is the simple permanent tissue and another one is complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue are made up of only one kind of cell. Basically, this belongs to supportive tissue. And complex, as the name suggests, complexity means tissue made up of more than one kind of cell. Example, xylem and phloem. You just see in detail here. Question is there in the examination. Where parenchyma located? What is the function of parenchyma? Same with the collenchyma, location and function. And sclerenchyma, location and function will be asked in the examination. The very first, parenchyma. Parenchyma located at the soft part of the plants. For example, inside the cortex and inside the pith. That is the central part of the plant. And main function of parenchyma, it helps to store food and provide temporary support to the plant. I told you earlier, supportive. This whole category, parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma, belongs to supportive tissue. Collenchyma located in the leaf stalks and below the epidermis. And main function of collenchyma to support the plant parts. Whatever the movements of twig, branch, leaves, it is possible only with the help of collenchyma. It provides flexibility to the plant part. The third one, sclerenchyma. It is located in stem and veins of the leaves, and main function, it provides the mechanical strength to the plant part. Generally, it is external on the plant parts, mainly consists of dead cells. Look at the diagram of parenchyma cell. They have some intercellular spaces between them. Inside the parenchyma cell, there is a single large vacuole, nucleus, and cell wall is only the thin walled. Next one, that is a transverse section of potato, where starch granules and vacuoles are mentioned. Starch is a reserve food material of the plant. Next, look at the diagram of collenchyma. You can see this one, these black dots at the corners, meaning the cell wall is thickened at the corner. This is due to deposition of chemical, that is pectin. It's going to support the plant part by deposition of this chemical. There is no intercellular space between the cells, means there is no gap between the cell, they are tightly packed. Sclerenchyma. Their cell wall also thickened. Just see here, this one. Their cell wall is thickened due to deposition of chemical substance called lignin. In other words, we can also say that the walls are lignified. They provide mechanical strength to the plant part.